Something interesting is that there is a belief that people who lose children have a higher divorce rate than the general public. And that actually is not true. People who lose children actually have a lower divorce rate than the general public. That statistic is that people cite of like 70% of couples or something like that is actually not scientifically based. It was from a book about child loss where the person estimated, I would estimate that 70% of couples get divorced after they lose a child. But it does create challenges in a marriage because, you're both consumed with your pain. So one thing I would say to husbands who have a wife who has had a miscarriage or a stillborn child or had a child die is you really need to give that person permission and time to grieve. It's something that is true of people particularly people who've lost children, is that it's not like the door or the book is ever closed. It's something that's going to be with you for the rest of your life. And so you just have to give and extend a great deal of grace to allow that person to suffer and to allow that person to be angry or to allow your wife not to give you as much attention, whatever that looks like. I would say for me, it was really helpful to have a group of men that I was friends with that I could lean on a lot for my emotional needs and for my processing, so that my wife didn't have to bear all the burden of that, and so that I also was in a place where I could, care for her and support her. That's not to say that I didn't, that I tried to put on the strong face for her, didn't cry in front of her. That's completely not true. But it was helpful for me to have community that enabled me just to not depend on her quite as much and to allow her to grieve. And honestly, the same was true for her, because I was every bit as much a basket case as she was. And so that's some advice I would give to husbands who have a wife who's grieving.